Hey guys, Solomon here. Welcome to my first DS Let's Play. Now, I'm not going to spoil the title yet, although most of you probably saw this coming for quite a while. I mean, I suppose it was kind of obvious if you saw the test video and the cursor vote video where I gave a not-so-subtle hint. But yeah, so a little background information on this game. This game was released in 2005. It's one of the first games ever released for the Nintendo DS. It was pretty much right alongside when the Nintendo DS came out. And it's definitely one of those first few games that really kind of went, well, I wouldn't know if I'd say above and beyond what the DS controls introduced, but in any case, it definitely was one of the first games that relied solely on the touchpad as a game. Now, I have played this game before, 5 years ago, back when it first came out, which means I'm gonna be fairly rusty when it comes to remembering how this game works. So, be patient with me sometimes when I seem to forget what I'm doing. On a further note, this is also a bit of what I'd like to call an emulator blind run, which means, well, I'm not used to using an emulator with a mouse or anything of the sort, so I'm not good with using my mouse for a game. So, there's a good potential I'm going to screw up a lot because of that, and you're probably going to get lots of laughs out of it. So then, we've seen the story, you know what to expect, so then, let's play Kirby Canvas Curse with a DS stylus. So, this is the result of the cursor vote. I was actually pleasantly pleased. A lot of people responded. I really enjoyed it. But ultimately, it was the DS stylus that won. It was a close vote, though. It was really close. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. Thanks a lot for all your feedback on that. So anyway, let's start a new game. And we'll start with the main game. Now, there is some other stuff here, but we'll cover that later. And they give us a tutorial to follow since, well, after all, this is one of the first games for the system, being that they're going to give you an introduction to how it works. So then, first thing to note, we got enemies ahead. Basically, when you tap an enemy, it will stun it. And when you stun enemies, you can run into them and defeat them. Now, sometimes there'll be so many enemies, it won't be worth it to just tap them. Rather, you can tap Kirby, and he will do a dash attack. And that's basically the first few physics of the game. Tapping stuff. So let's start. Basically tap the enemies, or tap Kirby. And it really doesn't matter. For this one though, I like to just tap all the enemies. And you got a preview of another thing we get into a little later. And basically, if you hit an enemy or anything which would normally cause you to lose health in the tutorial, they'll just make you redo the one part of the lesson. It's not going to punish you drastically. So here we have Lesson 2, which is giant blocks. Basically, you touch stuff in the environment, and in some cases, it will cause the stuff to break, like these giant blocks. So yeah, this is basically the thing. You don't just interact with Kirby or the enemies, you also interact with your environment. Now, here we have what I would consider the first true puzzle of the game. Basically, we have a red door and 3 buttons. Take a good guess what we gotta do. Yeah, we gotta change all the panels to the same color to open the door. So, keep that in mind for later. And we got blocks here, which are gonna try to stop Kirby in place. And then we have these clouds. They will stop Kirby in place too. So, if you do get stuck, a good rule of thumb is just try to interact with the environment. So, here's the next lesson, turning around, because after all, Kirby's not always going to roll in the direction of the goal. So, in order to stop him from going down a pit, you gotta draw a line and use some ink. So there you go. Simple concept. If you draw a line straight down, it will create a wall. And we'll cover what happens when you don't draw it straight down later. Now in this case, I just like to just do that, so, you know, just bypass all the crap there. Alright, ride lines. There we go. I said that right this time. Alright, so basically, you'll have stuff where you'll have to move Kirby up gaps or stuff. Basically, draw a line. Kirby will follow the line, and as they kind of say, consider a rainbow like an escalator. He'll travel along the line in whatever direction you would draw him. So, however you draw the line, expect that to be the way Kirby goes. Although, a good rule of thumb is that he also has to be able to touch the rainbow for it to work. Otherwise, it's just not going to work out. You'll miss the end of the thing, and you won't work at all. Now here we have another bit of an introduction here to copy abilities, which is customary of... did I say that right? Yeah, customary of every, Nah, I'm not sure I said that right. It's a rule of thumb of every Kirby game to have copy abilities. So, in this game, what you have to do, you have to attack and defeat an enemy to get their copy ability. Only though if you don't have a copy ability already. You then tap Kirby and he will use the ability. And if you want to get rid of it, you just tap the icon in the lower left. So let's get us the beam power, which honestly I really don't find that useful in most cases, because, well, as you can see, it's kind of limited in its own right. Now here we have the wheel power, which is actually kind of fun. Watch this. Yay, roadkill. Yay. And now we have burning power. Yes. Burn, baby, burn! Sorry. So now we have Lesson 6, the final lesson. Protecting Kirby using lines. Basically, we got Shozos here. Nice that they actually tell us what they're called. And basically, the whole idea is you can use lines as sort of a shield. So, if you ever see projectiles, don't be too shy to, protect them, but be careful because you do use up ink when you draw lines, and it can go pretty quickly if you're not careful. But when you're on the ground, you'll recover ink incredibly fast. So just draw some barriers for Kirby to not get hit. And here's a new item here. It's a stop bar. When Kirby hits it, he will get stopped by it. All you have to do to get him to get out of it is just dash. So it gives you a chance to draw the line across the, the laser before you get hit. And there you go. Tutorial is done. And as an additional thing, Kirby floats in water. So you're going to have to use lines to push him under. So he'll follow it from underneath, I suppose you can say. Alright, let's start with level 1. With the plant plane. Alright, so here's something else to note. You see these little stars here? These stars, basically, when you collect 100 of them, you get an extra life. So keep that in mind. And here we have a red coin. No, this is actually a medal. Basically, there are 250 of these throughout the entire game. I know for sure I'm not going to get all of them, and I will elaborate on why later. Kirby, go up on the line, thank you. Oh, wait, I just forgot. There's actually something I want to show real quickly. Okay, let's actually try to get him where I want him to go. So yeah, as you can tell, I'm not bad with this game, but I'm bad with the emulator, so whether or not I'm good with the game isn't one story. You see, I'm so frustrated I'm even mixing up my words. Can someone help me figure out what I'm trying to say here? Basically, I'm good at the game, but not at the emulator. So I am going to be screwing up quite a bit, especially early on, because I'm trying to get used to the idea that I'm using a mouse and not something else. But yeah, there was an extra life up there, and as I said before, you collect 100 of these stars, you get an extra life. It's just like Mario and the coin. Keep that in mind. Also, keep an eye on the top screen, just because it's kind of a map. It does show you a map up there, as you can probably tell. I'm not gonna let the cursor I'm going to try to keep the cursor off the top screen when possible, just so it looks more realistic. And basically, as you saw there was a little blip on the screen to let you know there was a coin there. Let's actually get rid of the beam power now. I want wheel power. Show me a move. Woohoo! Alright. Now, I'm gonna take it a little slow now, just because, as you can see, there's a door! But wait, there's more! There's a cannon up down there. And if we go across this pit, it's a secret coin! Or not. Again, if you check the map on the top, it really isn't that hard to find this stuff. Alright, now we have Dash Jump. This is a minigame you do every time you complete a level. Basically, get Kirby up to speed, draw a line, and try to get him as far as you can. Now, note the 100th place of where I got. That is how many stars you will get times 10. So, basically, it's rounded down to whatever your 100th place is, divided by 10 afterwards. So, you get 80 stars, and usually if you do well enough, you can get a 1-up from that every time. So let's start with Tiny Town now. Alright then, so it looks oddly like a painting. Which is odd, since the last level looked a bit more like an 8-bit game. Okay, let's go the way we want to go. I'm actually screwing up very little right now, it's nice. Trust me, this is not the first recording I've done of this, to be honest. In fact, in my first recording, I screwed up so much, it is not funny. Okay, it probably would have been funny for you guys, but not for me. By the way, this is a checkpoint. When you pass through a checkpoint, instead of starting the level from the beginning, well, let me rephrase that. Basically, when you die in a level, basically, you get a medal. No. When you die, you are sent back to the beginning of the screen which you died on. So, like, if I were to die right now, it would take me back to where I entered this particular screen of the thing. But since I passed that checkpoint, I'll start from there instead. Where the hell am I clicking? Alright. So, as you might note, there's just a medal up there, but we'll see in a second why we can't get it. We'll see there soon enough. Oh, I got a 1-up. Well, there you go. So yeah, collect 100 stars or 100 coins, depending on what you want to think about it. You get a 1-up. You pass through these gates, you get 3 stars. Let's get this 1-up. And more stars.